When you spoke like this, I was like, okay, I'm in. Go.
We're doing it because we want our children and our grandchildren to eat every day in 50, 60 years. That's the point, you know. You've noticed that the price of food has doubled in the last 2 years. 2 years, double. Not everything, but just 90% of the product. You take a bottle of oil at 10 euro is now 25 euros, the same bottle. Everything, why? The price of food augments because you have to transport it. And by transporting it, you burn more fuel. By burning more fuel, the value of fuel around the entire planet raises because fuel is global. So the price of fuel augments, the price of food augments, and the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere augments because we have transport food more. The augmenting of the CO2 in the atmosphere causes the desert to become hotter. That removes more farmland. You have the cascade, the domino. The relationship that the worse it gets, the faster it gets worse. The latest science that says if we cover the planet with trees right now, if we cover every square meters, like every 2.5 square meters with a tree, we're not sucking enough carbon for the entire emissions we have. Therefore, planting trees is not a solution. And so the ecological world just went, let's stop planting trees. The misunderstanding of this is absolutely insane. If we plant trees and they don't suck as much carbon, they're still slowing down the process. Okay, so everyone says let's go towards zero emission. Let's produce zero emission technology. So we're not putting 2 billion tons per year anymore. Okay, so we'll stop progressing worse. That is the equivalent of having a cancer patient in phase 3. And you say to that cancer patient, hey, just when you're about to go to phase 4, we're gonna keep you in phase 3 with all the vertigo, the vomiting, the nausea, but at least you're not gonna die. You're just gonna stay cancerous forever. Zero emission is not enough. Zero emission is absolutely essential, and resolving the excess greenhouse gas is essential. The climate change crisis is so much more dramatic than what the common person knows. So much more dramatic. However, there's so much hope. All the solutions are there. But it's all about, where's my money? And someone else has to do it. It's all that. Like, stop blaming who does what. And just realize we need solutions like a fertilizer that won't be made by petrol. Or a fertilizer made by petrol that didn't emit CO2 in the process of fabrication. There's ways to do it. But we have to stop wanting others to resolve it. There are so many solutions. The goal of AtmoCare is to get as much people as we can to give from $10 to $100 per month, according to everyone's capacities. And instead of asking a few people to pay more, let's ask more people to pay less. So AtmoCare takes donations and then spread it for our studies. There's an eco-anxiety program also, but all the other projects that we feel, yes, it costs money, but it's proven to give results. So we want to do two things. Results that clearly we're doing something good, but there's no profit to make. We're doing it because we want our children and our grandchildren to eat every day in 50, 60 years. That's the point, you know. And there's also the science where we want to refine the current methods. We also want to find new methods.
I really want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for thinking of us, and thank you for making the changes while you still could. Today is the 9th of March, 2050. My name is Louise, and I live in Paris with my husband and our 2 children. It's hot in the city, 37 degrees Celsius, but because of the millions of trees that your generation planted, there's plenty of shade. And There's lots of air, fresh air. The extreme weather conditions are slowly beginning to stabilize. And although the Seine burst its banks twice earlier this year because of the planning that you did, all the water was saved. No more flood victims. We're lucky that you saw what was going on. Today's economy, it's all about green energy, thanks to the investments that you made. No CO2 emissions anymore. Global warming, it's stopped. We'll still get extreme weather conditions sometimes, but the world is prepared for it now. So, thank you. Thank you for thinking of us then. Thank you for thinking of my daughters before they were even born. Thank you for having the courage to see what was going on and to change the world. Thank you for making a decision at the most decisive moment.